Having a healthy brain is critical. We all want a healthy brain, just like we want a healthy body. And we've got a way to get you one. It's through lifelong learning. And our guests today are Dr. Peter Lichtenburg. He's a pro. He's the director of the Institute of Gerontology at Wayne State. He's a national resource. And he's brought with him Peggy Tabor. She's a board member, a marketer, a teacher from a lifelong learning program called SOAR. We're going to talk about that program and programs like it in your community. You'll learn what you can learn to stay healthy with your brain. Join us on Graceful Aging. I'm your host, Gregory Bader, and this is Graceful Aging. Being with us on Graceful Aging. No, we're not going to force you to go back to school. We're going to make you want to go to school today because we have two excellent guests. Dr. Peter Lichtenburg from Wayne State University. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
Peggy Tabor, you are a woman of all trades, a board member, a teacher, and a promoter of SOAR at a Wayne State lifelong learning program. Peggy, why do so many people like lifelong learning as they age?
I think perhaps because it gets us up and about and exercises all parts of our minds and bodies to keep us active.
And now you're talking exercise?
Well,
do I need
mental
sweatpants for this?
You can wear your sweatpants. It's very casual atmosphere at SOAR. But I think as our senior population gets older, and we're certainly a burgeoning population, 10,000 65-year-olds a day from the baby boom generation entering their golden years. Sometimes those years aren't that golden. As we age, we sometimes stop working, our families move away, and there can be a great gap in our happiness quotient. So SOAR, offering lifelong learning with interesting classes, social interaction, lots of field trips to places that are fun to go to, fills that gaps and puts a little shine on our golden years.
Well, I want to learn a lot more about that. But, Peter, as I get older myself, Dr. Lichtenburg, as I get older myself, is my brain shrinking and I don't have a capacity to learn anymore? Or
your brain is shrinking. Mine too, Greg. But you know what? It's really, there's an interesting disconnect. And the front part of our brain shrinks the most. So the frontal areas of the brain. But while the brain volume shrinks, our capacities, our intellectual abilities barely change. So why is that?
Yeah, why?
Yeah. So it really goes to show that plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt, is lifelong. It doesn't just stop at 21 or 25 or 55. And so as the brain shrinks, the brain continues to adapt. Some of that is influenced by our life course, kind of what our health has been, emotionally, physically, mentally, throughout the lifetime.
So if I'm an average person and I'm getting older, if I take classes at Peggy's lifelong learning program or a program like that that probably is around the country, does that grow my brain? Does it make it bigger, stronger? What does it make it last longer? What does it do?
Well, the classes at SOAR, as wonderful as they are not going to necessarily grow your brain. I think that in order to grow your brain, you really have to be, A, a little bit younger, and B, you really have to have the same kinds of intense challenges over and over and over again. But what it does is it really helps keep your brain healthy. Brain health is a term we all should be familiar with.
Okay, so brain health is different than maybe making a bigger brain.
That's right. Brain health is different. You've got a healthy brain, and how do you keep it healthy? And engaging in these classes is a great way of doing that. There's something called excess disability in gerontology. It's kind of a classic term. And what it means is, you can think of it physically, if we sit all day, we get weak, okay? And so we say, oh, it's because I'm old. Well, no. If we got up and exercised, even if we're getting a little bit weaker, we're not getting anywhere near as weak as if we're a couch potato. Same with the brain. Same thing. If you're not engaging, you're not helping that brain adapt and keep up.
So that 3-pound gray mass that we have in our skulls needs to get exercised.
It does. You know, it takes 20% of our blood flow and our oxygenation goes to that 3 pounds. So it's a huge... a
demanding little sucker.
Demanding little sucker, exactly.
So, Peggy, tell us more about lifelong learning. Do I have to take, if I sign up for classes at a local university or a program that might be around, am I going to get graded? Are there going to be tests? Is there going to be homework?
No. I think lifelong learning at places like SOAR, part of Wayne State University, and there are lifelong learning programs at many universities throughout the country. But the focus is to have college as you always wanted it to be. There's no quizzes.
Now some people are going wild with that thought right now.
There's no assignments. There's no homework. It's just very fascinating professors talking about subjects that are interesting to the senior population in everything from anthropology to art to history to science to medicine. It's a broad range of topics. At our last term, we offered 74 courses in just a variety of topics that interest our particular audience.
You know, interest is one thing. What if after sitting on the couch for so long in my own house and I see this program, I don't know what I'm going to be interested in. Could I just kind of blindly read the catalog and take a dart and maybe pick one class? And do you have experiences where people say, wow, I'm glad I signed up for that?
Well, since our inception about 10 years ago, we started out with a few faculty members from Wayne thinking, maybe our senior population would like a lifelong learning program. So with a very small public relations release, we offered our community to come in and take a look, and we were overwhelmed. Hundreds of people showed up, and we do very little outreach. Our membership grows by word of mouth. So what I have found that once a person comes and takes a course at SOAR that they find interesting, they tell their friends, and then they take more courses. And of course, there's a huge variety of courses. So the possibility of going through our catalog and not finding something of interest is almost zero. Wouldn't you think so, Peter?
I would agree. I would agree.
It's fun, even like chair yoga, everything from chair yoga to the reality of dark matter.
Well, on the reality of dark matter, Dr.
Or gray matter.
Is there value for someone taking a hard course? Does that help brain health more?
No, I think there's really value in taking something that they're interested in.
Okay.
Because if people are not interested, they are going to tune out. But at SOAR, and I've taught there several times, there's nobody tuning out. They're there. They want to learn about this. Some are life reasons for wanting to learn. Some are very practical kinds of courses. Some are informational and broadening their knowledge base. And some are experiential. And I have not seen a student that wasn't just wrapped in attention.
Yeah. And, in your experience there, describe for me a typical class. Is it a big lecture hall? Is it 50? Is it 10?
For my classes, it's been 50 people. It's not a big lecture hall, but it's a fairly good-sized classroom.
And are the classes typically like one session? Come to hear Dr. Peter Lichtenburg on healthy brains? Or
it can be. Mine have usually been 1 or 2 sessions. And some are multi-parts.
And how are they typically taught? Are they in a lecture format, a discussion format? How does that work?
It really varies, Greg. We have some film discussion groups that are smaller, and they are set up to be a conversational lecture between the professor and the students. There are others, like Jack Lessenberry, who's a public radio speaker and political analysis. He gives a lecture every term, and we have to hire a larger hall because 500 or 600 people will come to it. He's such an expert on politics, particularly local politics, and this last term he did Detroit, What Lies in Its Future. He knows everybody. He knows all the inside stuff. He pulls in 600 people.
So some of your instructors have whole groupies that follow.
They do. Some in the range of 50 to 70. I would say that's my classes and Peter's classes, and then it just ranges. So during registration, you sign up for a whole bunch of classes, and you are guaranteed 8. And then any class, once you are a member, any class that has an open seat, you can come to it. So you can just spend 2 full terms going to school every day if you want, or just do 3 or 4 classes.
Well, you've whetted our appetite, and I understand that you brought with you a DVD that you are allowing us to show, and so it's a little short 7-minute DVD that we want everyone to take a look at, and it'll give some of the flavor and atmosphere of what lifelong learning is all about.
Good, thank you.
So let's take a look right now at the DVD of SOAR. And Peggy, what does SOAR stand for?
Society of Active Retirees.
Don't we all want to be that? Let's take a look.
SOAR, Society of Active Retirees, presents Retirement.
Let's look in on John and Jan. So how's that retirement going?
Are you folks having any fun yet?
There's got to be more to retirement than bringing in the mail and waiting for lunch.
After 35 years of teaching college, now John is teaching me how to make a sandwich.
You don't have to be bored with retirement.
You could join us at SOAR and start enjoying the good life with lifelong learning and lots of fun.
I'm going to take a class in climate change this morning. Would you like to meet for lunch afterwards?
Well, I'm taking chair Zumba, and then I'm taking this art history class. So, we could meet for lunch around noon. And I am going to talk you into taking that opera rehearsal class with me.
Well, we'll see.
SOAR is college as you always wanted it to be.
It's lifelong learning in a highly stimulating environment. Just interesting people doing interesting things.
No quizzes, no assignments, no grades. Everybody earns A's at SOAR.
I'm coming to see this great movie. I heard it's wonderful. And afterwards, the discussion should be just fabulous.
And I'm going to Marty Herman's class because I love opera.
I'm here to learn more about one of the least known and most renowned American poets, Emily Dickinson.
These classes get me up and out, and it's really wonderful how accessible everything is.
SOAR members attend classes in a broad range of topics, from anthropology to film to travel. Each year, SOAR offers 2 6-week terms and a host of social activities.
But the real crown jewel of the program is our faculty.
My name is Alan Howard, and I give tours and talks of Rome, Italy, with a focus on the Baroque period. My current talk at SOAR is on Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the great genius of Rome. Please join us.
Hi, my name is Sharon O'Brien. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my SOAR classes. I specialize in the detective novel and the literature of the 20s. Please join us.
Hello, I'm Jim Wolfe, and this is my wife, Pi. We travel all over the world and we love to share our experiences with SOAR.
Please join us and travel the world with us.
Hello, my name is Art Wiggins, and for 40 years I taught physics to college students. But for SOAR, it's a little different. Here I become Albert Einstein in order to narrate my family album. It's all relative, you know, so please come and join us.
Hi, my name is Barbara Swab. I've been practicing yoga for over 35 years and teaching for at least 12 years. At SOAR, I offer chair yoga and chair Zumba classes. Please come to my classes and I can assure you, you'll leave feeling a whole lot better.
My name is Martin Herman. I'm an emeritus professor of humanities at Wayne State University. I've been involved with SOAR since its inception and teach a course called Experiencing Opera. Those enrolled learned that Rigoletto, in addition to being an all-star third baseman for the Cleveland Indians, is also the name of an opera by Verdi.
What I love about teaching at SOAR are the students. They're energized, exciting people. Why don't you go down to the student lounge and speak to a few of them?
I love to come to SOAR. It provides an opportunity for all of us to attend classes with a variety of subjects from qualified professionals, and it just makes my day.
What do I think of SOAR? It's so much fun. No pass, no fail, no grades, no exams. It's a lot of fun. What more could you ask?
Mary, you spent your entire career as an architect. Why don't you teach a class at SOAR?
Maybe I will. I'm interested in that new Freedom Tower going up in New York. I could teach a class on that.
That sounds good. Oh, by the way, are you going to join us for the dress rehearsal at the Michigan Opera Theater? And it's John's first opera.
A lot of fun at SOAR takes place outside the classroom. Michigan Opera Theater performances are always popular.
I get so much more out of opera now that I've taken a class at SOAR.
I just love the sound of Vivaldi in the morning.
I just love coming on these field trips with my 3 best friends.
You know, my wife had to actually drag me to this today, but in actual fact, I kind of like opera.
So do I. And because I came today with Jan, she's going with me next week to see antique cars.
SOAR field trips are available year-round, and there's something for everyone. For many, retirement means one door closing and another opening. But opening to where? If your goals include a continuation of knowledge with like-minded people, SOAR provides educational, cultural, and social opportunities.
It's energizing to check your calendar and see an opera dress rehearsal or a historic bus tour. SOAR doesn't make you a full-time student, but it adds a new dynamic to retirement.
Whether you join as a student or a teacher, the SOAR community promises friendship, fun, and lifelong learning. To find out more about SOAR, give us a call or find us at soarexplore.com. We hope to hear from you soon.
Oh, you caught me looking at some of the programs. I'd like to go there too and take some of those classes. Is it as fun as it's depicted in that video, Peggy?
It is very fun, Greg. A lot of socialization goes on in our classrooms, but then we offer such a variety of field trips, many of which you saw on the DVD. But and then we combine field trips with academic study. So one of our professors, Marty Herman, renowned musicologist.
I think he was on the DVD.
He was. Yeah. Oh yes, that's right, he was. But his course, Experiencing Opera, he usually marries his course to whatever the Michigan Opera Theater is showing. So The Flying Dutchman was one of the productions of last season, and Marty did a marvelous 6-session course on Wagner, the time, the people, the social and economic and theatrical reality of the time in which it was written. So imagine having that type of intellectual background and then going to the dress rehearsal of this magnificent opera. It just brings such a huge world of understanding to it, and you go with your friends.
So lifelong learning is more than just taking a class. It strikes me that it's a very clever introduction into the society and the world that is in your community.
I love the people that I've met at SOAR. So many new friends. My husband and I take lots of field trips together. We last summer did a cruise down the Clinton River, and the other people that were on the boat, some were new friends, some are old friends, some are people that we introduced to SOAR. It's socially very stimulating to be able to offer your friends the opportunity to go on a cruise down the river. It's very fun. There's some
go ahead. Well, you could save that story.
There's new friends and old friends.
Okay. Well, and Doctor, as far as socialization with learning and brain health, how important is that?
Very important. So brain health really is a multifaceted thing, and social connections are huge. Mental health is big. Cognitive engagement, we talk about physical activity and physical exercise, nutrition, sleep, and rest. They're all very important parts of brain health. So it's very multifaceted, but you really can't underestimate the social connectedness and how important that is to all of health.
Yeah, it makes you want to get up, makes you want to dress a little sharper, makes you want to think about what you're saying, all of those things probably.
And not only that, but it gives you a place to check out ideas that you have, things that you're thinking about. Collaborative cognition is a good thing. You know, we solve problems and our own conundrums a lot better when we do it with somebody else as opposed to going round and round in our head.
That's a good operational definition. You saved me a question. And talking about checking it out, Peggy, are there more women checking out guys, or are there more guys checking out women in lifelong learning? Is it a return to high school or college where you're looking for romantic relationships or friendships? How much of that goes on?
Certainly there is some, but that's not the primary.
I know it's not the primary purpose.
There's always a lot of interesting people in those classes that you really want to get to know better, whether they are men or women. So I think your social circle certainly expands through SOAR, but it's not a pickup site.
Okay. But you develop relationships. I mean, do people beyond the classes, are there people who form friendships on a pretty routine basis?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I've entertained people that I've met at SOAR at my home, and I've been to their homes to be entertained. It really grows your social environment with people, with like-minded people, because you may have met them in a class on a topic that's rather esoteric, but something you're quite interested in.
So you've got something to talk about.
Yeah.
Something different to talk about.
That's exactly right.
Now, I noticed that your program is affiliated with the national, is it the Elder Hostel? Do I have that right?
We have an affiliation with Elder Hostel. Our closest affiliation, of course, is with Wayne State University. We used to be part of Wayne, and then a couple of years ago realized that it would be better for us to be a 501c3 organization.
You're getting deep now for me.
Okay, but we are affiliated with Wayne. Our classes are at the most of our classes are at the Wayne Oakland Center in Farmington Hills.
And if I were in California or Minnesota, how would I go about looking for a program like yours that provides lifelong learning? Is there some place I could call, or where's the first good place to
Well,
start looking
the internet.
at? Okay. That internet thing is
Go
catching
on
on,
the
isn't
internet.
it?
And I think most universities in major cities have lifelong learning programs. So if you are in San Francisco and just type in San Francisco lifelong learning programs, you'll bring up a number of options.
Are they expensive?
Ours is not. Since we are a nonprofit organization, we charge a minimal fee each term, and for that fee you can sign up for 8 guaranteed classes and up to as many as you really want to take. Then you are also, once you're a member, you receive all of the invitations to the field trips. We have a short winter term too for those of our members who don't head south. In February, the dreary Michigan month. Normally it's the Wednesdays of February. We have 4 days of courses, a morning course and an afternoon course, and it will be on some very interesting topic.
Well, that will get you out of the snow. That
Get
sounds
you
good.
up and out.
Now, Dr. Lichtenberg, at some point, both you and I will age to the point where they'll slowly tell us they don't want us teaching or working. Is there life for persons with skills and knowledge that they can become teachers at a lifelong learning program, and is that equally important?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, teaching in a lifelong learning program when you're older also gives you a great cognitive challenge. You know, organizing the materials, putting them together, getting up and communicating them. It's terrific. But I will point out to you, Greg, that my professor is 87.
Okay.
My doctoral advisor, and he's still teaching at Purdue University.
Excellent.
I don't think I'm going to match him, but I sure admire it.
You know, and on teachers, how are they selected? Is it if whoever comes in saying, I want to teach this course in ancient hieroglyphics?
Well,
how are your teachers vetted in a lifelong learning program?
we have a curriculum committee that chooses our teachers, but our faculty is completely volunteer. And if you ask our executive director, you know, what is the crown jewel of SOAR, he'll say our faculty, and I'd have to agree with him. These volunteer teachers, many are professors emeritus from various universities. Some are just, I came into SOAR being invited to be a speaker on a topic, and found out knew nothing about the program, got onto the faculty, and then just became enamored with the entire idea of lifelong learning. So some of our teachers they may be a doctor, but their passion is the history of some battle in the Civil War, and they will give a talk on that battle in the Civil War.
And so do you find like the instructors bring a lot, maybe even more passion than the instructors we remember from college or high school?
Well, I'd certainly say that's true in our case, wouldn't you, Peter? I love teaching at SOAR. The people are sitting on the edge of their seat. They're thinking of interesting questions. I have never seen anybody text during one of my classes.
That's a good sign.
It's a nice group to talk to.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, Dr. Lichtenberg and Peggy Tabor, for being
Pleasure.
our guest on Graceful Aging. I think you've given all of us new venues of entertainment and knowledge and learning to keep our brains healthy. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
And I hope you can take a look at that internet thing and find a lifelong learning program in your community. There's a lot to learn, and learning is good for our brains. Let's keep those brains healthy, and see you next time on Graceful Aging.